all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights.
For Dog Pound Incorporated, the biggest win, his first win. Gutierrez wins the Indianapolis 250.
We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high.
And your 2023 Haas IndyCar Series champion is Luna Lona in the 00.
What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome back here to the Watkins Glen International Raceway, here for Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Week. We got a lot of awesome races here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, all leading up to the Cup race on Saturday. Almost every single day we'll be racing here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, so really looking forward to see what the rest of this week has to offer, but here we are for race number 17 on the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series season, and race 1 out of 2 this week here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race number 1 of the BodyArmor Duels at the Glen here for the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series season, and this is usually always a fun pair of races to run. A little bit quicker, like more duel-like races, but they still are for points, and these are usually a lot of fun and really exciting. Have to see how these guys do here today and on Thursday as well, where we'll have race number 2 and race 18 of the season. So 2 races in the span of 1 week here in the IndyCar Series, and like I mentioned, all leading up to the Cup Series race at Watkins Glen on Saturday. It's going to be a fun week. Already started off yesterday with the Elimination Series race. That was a fun one, of course. This will definitely be a very interesting one for sure here in the IndyCar Series, especially after coming off of that absolutely chaotic race at Canadian Tire, where we saw a lot of shakeups and a lot of storylines develop. It'll be interesting to see how those continue on here into Watkins Glen week. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down, but yeah, we're here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway, specifically the boot layout, the 3.4-mile road course here in Watkins Glen, New York. And this is going to be a fun pair of races, like I said. And, I mean, after this pair of races, we'll only have 2 more races left on the season. As of right now, we've only got 4 races left, so time is running out here for these guys, but the championship is definitely thinner than it has been throughout the majority of the season, especially after that wild race at Canadian Tire. Taking a look at your point standings coming into this race, it is still Bradley Bradshaw up at the top of the standings, and Logan Williams currently comes in second. He is 44 points behind Bradley Bradshaw, so he's still got a bit of a hill to climb if he wants to get there, but he is within striking distance, especially if Bradley Bradshaw has a pretty disastrous day. He could definitely pounce on that, but honestly, the trend seems to be whenever Bradshaw has a bad run, Logan Williams also seems to have one. Because, I mean, last race out at Canadian Tire, Bradshaw wrecked out, Logan Williams wrecked out. And if you remember a couple races back at Nazareth, Bradley Bradshaw had that early incident. Logan Williams ended up wrecking later on in the race. So it seems to be kind of a trend of these guys. Logan Williams would definitely like to put a stop to that so he could potentially make up some points on the 54. But we'll just have to wait and see how things go. Looking further on down the point standings, Thomas Truxell enters this race third in points. He's been really on the climb as of late. Now really in this championship battle. He's only 46 points behind Bradley Bradshaw. Good run for Thomas Truxell. He was the best finishing of the 3 at Canadian Tire, and of course won the race at Nazareth a few weeks ago. So Thomas Truxell definitely showing out here late in the season. Fourth in points, you got the number 34, Brendan Wilmington. Wilmington might be one to watch out for here late in the season. He's on a string of awesome finishes. And Wilmington looking to maybe even become a potential dark horse for this championship. He's 79 points back. But if he can string together some really good runs, Brendan Wilmington, I'd watch out for that 34. See if he can maybe get in this thing as we finish out the season. You got Zachary Fitzwater 5th in points. He's 82 back. Chris Reynolds is 6th, 91 back. Luna Lona, is 7th, 91 points back. Angel Gutierrez is 8th, 94 back, tied with John Andrews, also 94 back, and running at the top 10 is Angel Olvera in that 41. Olvera enters this race 96 points behind Bradley Bradshaw. Well, that being said, your front row consists of two guys that are in the top 10 in points, Chris Reynolds and Angel Olvera, with Angel Olvera starting on the pole position for today's race. So Olvera will definitely be an interesting one to watch out for here today. And Chris Reynolds joining her on the front row. Have to see what he can do as well. We'll have to watch him once we take the green flag, because that outside lane is definitely notable for getting a good jump off the start. But we'll just have to wait and see how things go here from the Watkins Glen International Raceway. But we're going to get these guys rolling here from Watkins Glen. And as these guys do, we will take a look at your starting lineup here for the BodyArmor Duel at the Glen, race number 1. As aforementioned on the pole, we got the number 41 of Angel Olvera starting alongside the number 73 of Chris Reynolds. Row number 2, we find the 00 of Christian Vargas starting alongside one of your championship contenders. Got the 52 of Thomas Troxel starting up here in the 4th position. Have to see what he can do from that starting spot. Row 3, we find the 59 of Dylan Matthews starting alongside 34 of Brendan Wilmington. Mentioned him pre-race. Have to see what he can do here at Watkins Glen. Maybe walk away with another good finish. We'll just have to wait and see. Row number 4, we have the 98 of Jay Knapp starting alongside the 50 of Skylar Taylor. Jay Knapp with a great bounce back last week out at Canadian Tire. Coming home with a podium finish. Much needed run for that NS Racing team. Looking for another top 10 finish here today. And Skylar Taylor just looking for a good finish in that number 50. Looked like last week might have been the week for Taylor, but blew up during the race and had to retire. So that was a really tough break for Skylar Taylor. Hopefully they'll have better luck this week around. But rounding out your top 10, we find the 79 of Trey Smith starting alongside the 23 of John Stewart. Race info will be on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, as well as the previous winners. For a 15-lap race here today, the usual 30 entries. Pit window should be about 8 to 11 laps. Now, window is, these guys should probably come in around lap 10 to 11, but sometimes we can see people come in a lot earlier and about split this race in half. Maybe a huge undercut on the field. Have to see if anyone elects to do that this race. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. But entering turns 10 and 11, coming out of the boot and coming towards the front straightaway, it's going to be the 41 of Angel Olvera and the 73 of Chris Reynolds leading the field through turn 11 down the front straightaway. And the green flag is waving. We are racing here from race number 1 of the BodyArmor Duels at the Glen. And to mention that outside lane off the start. And great jump there from the 73 of Chris Reynolds. He takes the lead off of the start from that 41 of Angel Olvera. Olvera did not have a good run there through turn 1. Really checked it up. And is now potentially under fire from the 00 of Christian Vargas as we go through the carousel and into the chute. Vargas is going to take that spot away. And Thomas Troxel potentially looking to do the same in the 52. Thomas Troxel really looking for a good finish here today to boost himself up into that championship battle. And podium finish here today would definitely do that for the 52. That's what it looks like he's going for as he stays side by side with the 41 of Angel Olvera for the time being. He'll have the advantage here as we go into the heel. Gonna stay side by side though. Olvera's hanging tough there in that 41 and is probably gonna have the advantage as we enter turns 10 and 11. Troxel holding strong though, trying to clear on the right side. They'll have the advantage going through turn 11 here, and Olvera trying to drive it in, but it's just not going to be enough. Thomas Truxell gets the drive on that inside lane and move Thomas Truxell up into the 3rd position as we complete lap number 1. Got some 3 wide back here. Brennan Wilmington with a big send down to the inside, but thinks better of it. He is going to lose a couple spots out of that, though. And he's going to fall down to what I believe is the 9th position for the 34 of Wilmington. So still in the top 10, just not the best start for that 52. Taking a look where Bradshaw is. He did not have a good start. Started in the 11th position, but has fallen down to the 19th position as they came across the line. So this has not been a good start for the 54 of Bradley Bradshaw. Now under fire from his teammate Luna Lona as we go into the boot section. And this is what guys like Logan Williams and Thomas Truxell want to see. There's Logan Williams, who was a few spots ahead of Bradshaw. Logan would definitely like to get a few more spots ahead, but as they run, Logan would definitely gain some points on the 54. And some points is better than none, so I'm sure Logan will definitely be happy about that as he goes for a move on the 27 of Ace Garcia. But back up front, Chris Reynolds in the 73 currently leads the way there in that Durrani Racing Ford, but Christian Vargas in the 00 in second, trying to potentially run him down for that race lead. And Thomas Truxell kind of just sitting comfortably in 3rd right now. He's just doing what he needs to do to potentially put himself in a position to strike on Bradley Bradshaw if the opportunity comes. Bradshaw trying to make his way back to the field as he dives underneath Landon Smith Jr., but he's not going to make the corner work, and he might lose the spot to Luna Lona here. John Andrews right behind, trying to make something happen. And they're going to go side by side through the S's. If they can stay side by side, Bradshaw will have the advantage into the carousel, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Luna Lona has a bit of drafting help from John Andrews, and Lona's going to clear Bradley Bradshaw as we enter the carousel. John Andrews trying to look to the high side, but not quite going to be able to get there. Yeah, this is exactly what these championship contenders want to see. Bradshaw struggling early here at Watkins Glen. And if they finish as they do, that would definitely bring some big implications into this championship fight. Still got a long ways to go here at Watkins Glen. Up front right now, it's still the 73 of Chris Reynolds, but like I mentioned, Christian Vargas trying to run him down that 00. Christian Vargas has had a pretty up and down season. Coming into this race 14th in points. Of course, the expectations are probably high for Vargas because that is the reigning champion's car that he's driving. But he has definitely shown quite a lot of speed. I just don't think he's had the luck to show it. But running well so far here at Watkins Glen, looking for his first win of the season. And it would be definitely a deserved win for Christian Vargas at that. He's trying to close on that 73 to see what he can do. Dylan Matthews in the 59 up to the 4th position. Good start there for her. Angel Oliveira fell back to 5th off the start, but still a good run nonetheless for her. Here comes this 98 of Jay Knapp right on the gearbox of Oliveira, taking a peek as we go into the carousel. Not quite enough to get it done just yet. Zachary Fitzwater and Trey Smith going at it for the 7th position, as Jay Knapp's going to try the outside on the 41 of Angel Oliveira. Not quite going to work there, as Trey Smith trying to hold off Zachary Fitzwater in the 81. There's Brennan Wilmington right behind them. Have to see if he can maybe pounce on an opportunity that these guys battling might make. They're going to stay side by side, but Fitzwater is finally going to clear. And Fitzwater up to the 7th position. Looking back through the field, Logan Williams right now under fire from the 95 of Richard Kinghart. But Logan up to the 15th spot. So Logan making some pretty significant gains here early on in the race. Bradley Bradshaw continuing to slip back. He's now fallen down to the 21st position as he's been passed by the 07 of John Andrews. So that's just more and more points down the drain for the 54 of Bradshaw as he continues to slip back. Thomas Truxell, he might potentially get into this lead battle as now he's trying to reel in the 00 of Christian Vargas, who is simultaneously trying to reel in the 73 of Chris Reynolds. Potentially have a 3-horse race for the lead here early on in the going. We'll have to see how those cycle of pit stops affect the outcome of this thing. It'll definitely be very interesting to see what kind of strategy everybody pulls. But I guess we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Christian Vargas definitely making some gains on the 73 of Reynolds. Thomas Truxell trying to follow suit. This could definitely get interesting if these guys start battling. Chris Reynolds right on the gearbox. This is the closest he's been to the 73 of Reynolds. Thomas Truxell too, not too far behind. Have to see if anybody makes a move here as we go through turns 10 and 11. Not quite yet. Vargas got a pretty good run off of turn 11, though. Down the front straightaway, he's going to have a good run on the 73 of Reynolds. Reynolds knows that. He moves to the right side to maybe block the 00 a little bit. Everybody staying in line for now. Brendan Wilmington up into the ace spot. Him and John Stewart got by the 79 of Trey Smith. And now he's trying to go to work on the 41 of Angel Oliveira, who's already been passed by the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater. Logan Williams managed to hang on to 15th, defending off the 95 of Richard Kinghart. And Bradley Bradshaw has moved his way back into the 20th position there in that 51. Trying to do whatever he can to minimize the damage. But he's definitely going to have to pass a lot more cars than that, especially with Logan Williams running a couple of cars ahead of him. And another one of his championship contenders, Thomas Truxell, currently running in a podium place. But actually starting to kind of close in on halfway home here at Watkins Glen. A little bit of a quicker paced race. These guys are absolutely flying around the Watkins Glen International Raceway. But still a lot of time for things to happen. Christian Vargas has kind of fallen off from Reynolds a little bit and is now under fire from the 52 of Thomas Truxell. Dylan Matthews in the 59 is also caught up to these guys. Looking to potentially even make this a 4, maybe even 5-horse race for the lead as Jay Knapp in the 98 also trying to get up here and join in on this action. Logan Williams once again under fire from the 95 of Richard Kinghart for the 15th position. Love the preferred lane through the S's, and he will hold on to the 15th position for the time being. Kind of calming down a little bit throughout the field. Everyone's starting to spread out just a little bit, but still got a lot of good battles going on, and one that I think is definitely heating up could potentially be this battle for the race lead. I think Truxell might be faster than Christian Vargas, trying to find a way around him. You also kind of got the queue forming behind him with Dylan Matthews in the 59 and Jay Knapp in the 98 trying to get in on this. But coming to lap 8, and that should open the cycle to make it to the end on fuel and tires. So we'll have to wait and see if anyone decides to come down here on lap number 8 and do a big undercut on the rest of the field, or if most of the field decides to wait until lap 10 or 11 and do their stop then on cycle. I'll have to wait and see. That's the interesting thing here at Watkins Glen. Definitely a lot of options in the strategy to choose from. Who knows, maybe we can even see guys just go fuel only like we saw some do last year. We'll have to wait and see how things go. Got a battle going on back here. Bruno Diacomo and Skylar Taylor. This is for the 12th position, And it looks like Diacomo is going to take that spot away. Taylor trying to go back after Diacomo as we enter the boot section, but Diacomo is going to hold on for the time being. Bradley Bradshaw got by the 25, Landon Smith Jr. He's back up to 19th. Logan Williams still chilling there in the 15th position. And ahead of him, Skylar Taylor now under fire from the 8 of Tanner Parton is up here. Brennan Wilmington gets down to the inside of the 41 of Angel Oliveira. They're going to go side by side as we got a battle for second. Here we go. Thomas Troxel to the right-hand side of the 00 of Christian Vargas. He's going to have the advantage as we go through turn 11, but Vargas did a pretty good job there on that outside. Thomas really took it easy there through turn 11, and it looks like Vargas is going to stay clear for the time being. So good defense there from Christian Vargas, but that is allowing the 73 of Chris Reynolds to pull away with the race lead. Yeah, Wilmington is going to clear Angel Oliveira, and Wilmington's up to the 7th position now. Oliveira actually slips back to 9th as John Stewart also got by her. And Bradley Bradshaw right on the gearbox of Ace Garcia looking to make a move. Bradshaw's car might be coming alive here later in the run. But at this point, when everyone's so spread out, there's only so much you can really do. But I think Logan Williams is starting to realize that as Williams goes for a pretty aggressive move there on Skylar Taylor, diving into the carousel. And they're going to go side by side into the boot. Logan Williams trying to stay side by side with the 50, but Taylor is going to hold on to that spot. Logan going to try to go back after the 50 as we go down the back straightaway. But Taylor, good defense from the 50. He's going to hold on for the time being. There's Trey Smith going after the 41 of Angel Oliveira. Oliveira potentially maybe struggling with the tire wear on that 41 here later in the run. As Dylan Matthews in the 59 trying to go after Thomas Troxel in the 52. Troxel is going to hold on though for the time being. Starting to maybe see the tire wear kick in here as it's getting a little bit more difficult to pass. These cars are really starting to slide around. And here we go. Here comes the 95 of Richard Kinghart, attempting an undercut here on lap number 9. Coming to lap 10 for Kinghart. Have to see how that works out for him, but the cycle has begun here from Watkins Glen, and we should start seeing most of the field start coming down this time by. As we near the end of the race, Christian Vargas is actually kind of pulled away from Thomas Troxel now, and he's potentially looking to run down the 73 of Vargas, as his car might be a good long-run car. Jay Knapp has gotten by the 59 of Dylan Matthews. You also got Zachary Fitzwater not too far behind there in that 81. Same for the 34 of Wilmington. See what these guys can do on the pit lane. Got side-by-side back here, Trey Smith and the 23 of John Stewart. Smith's going to take that spot away. 79 up to the 8th position. And Braden Perez going after Angel Oliveira there for 10th. Imagine at least some of the field will come down this time by. And it looks like Chris Reynolds is going to be the one. He's going to come down. Thomas Troxel's going to try an overcut. That's going to be interesting to watch out for, as the top 6 are pretty much split on coming to pit lane. Had some side-by-side there off the final corner. Luckily, they were able to sort that out. That got close there between John Andrews and Landon Smith Jr. But coming in on lap number 10, we've got our race leader, Chris Reynolds, Christian Vargas, Zachary Fitzwater, John Stewart, and John Andrews. And it looks like everybody is taking tires. And we'll see where that puts the 95 of Richard Kinghart in comparison to everybody else. But that's going to put the 52 of Thomas Troxel in the race lead. And this might actually be a pretty smart strategy because Troxel led that lap. So that's going to be a bonus point for that 52. So, liking what the 52 might be cooking up here. I have to see, though, how that overcut will affect him in terms of the running order. And, oh boy, speaking of the running order, Christian Vargas is going to jump the 73 of Chris Reynolds under pit stops. Reynolds might have had a slower stop in the 73 because he's now in the clutches of the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater. But a good stop from Vargas puts him in the lead of those guys who just came down. But I would imagine everybody else will be coming down this time by. And here comes Troxel, Jay Knapp, Dylan Matthews, Brennan Wilmington. And had a lot of side-by-side back here, but it looks like they are going to sort that out as here comes, the rest of the field into the pit lane. Ooh, a little bit tight there as Ace Garcia really sent it in there. But yeah, everybody else down this time by, and there's the 0-0 of Christian Vargas. Have to see where he comes out into comparison. These guys have to see what these guys do in the pit lane. See if they take 4. Some might even take 2. We'll have to see. But it looks like the call for pretty much about everybody is going to be 4 tires and fuel. There's Christian Vargas coming down the front straightaway right now. There comes Thomas Troxel out of the pit lane. And Christian Vargas is going to take the race lead as they come out of the pit lane. Thomas Troxel caught the pit wall there on exit, but I think he should be fine. And Chris Reynolds in the 73 is also going to get by him, but it looks like Troxel is going to settle in the 3rd position, or is he? Because here comes the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater with a full head of steam there in that 81. And is he going to make a move? Yes, he is. Fitzwater dives it down to the inside as they go through the carousel. Troxel probably still trying to get his tires warmed up on that 52. But once he does, we'll see if he can maybe try and get back at that 81 of Fitzwater. Fitzwater looking pretty fast here. He's actually now trying to run down the 73 of Chris Reynolds. These Dog Pound Incorporated cars are looking fast right now, running 1st and 3rd for the moment, with Christian Vargas with a pretty decent-sized lead out front right now. And now that pit stops have all cycled out, oh boy. Bradley Bradshaw in the 54 must have had a slow stop or something, because he is all the way down, I believe, in 30th. We'll have to see as they come back around, but I do believe that that is the case. And if that is the case, this is absolutely huge for the 52 of Thomas Troxel and Logan Williams. And yeah, I do think that is the case, but Brad Stover in the 99 is going to come back down. Same for Max Anderson and Justin Zeidel, so maybe a bit of a problem on these 3 cars. Maybe they didn't get it full enough of fuel. Maybe they have a loose wheel or something. But free spots for the 54 Bradshaw, but still all mired all the way back in 27th place. Logan Williams not faring too much better, though, after that cycle. He's in 21st. But yeah, the big winner after all of this is going to definitely be Thomas Troxel in the 52, who I think he's pretty content right now with running in the 4th position. He can finish there. That'll definitely be huge in terms of the championship point standings, as we got a battle for 2nd raging on now, as here comes the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater, looking to make it a 1-2 for Dog Pound Incorporated. And wouldn't that definitely be something if they can pull it off? They're going to stay side by side as they exit the boot and into turns 10 and 11. And Fitzwater, he's going to clear Reynolds as they go into turn 11. And how about that? 1-2 for Dog Pound Incorporated here with 2 laps to go here from Watkins Glen. How about Richard Kingard? That strategy really worked out well for him. He's going to come out in the 10th position. And, you know, someone... Oh, boy. Had a bit of trouble back here between Angel Oliveira and the 55 of Noah Clifton. Oliveira might have got a bit of a clip there from Noah Clifton, but luckily they both keep it straight. And as I was going to mention, this is also going to be pretty big for Wilmington, who's looking to get into this championship battle right outside the top 10. That's still a decent amount of points gained to the 54 Bradley Bradshaw. So, yeah, like I mentioned, Wilmington could potentially be a dark horse for this championship. But we'll have to wait and see how things go. But out front right now, it's all Christian Vargas in the 0-0, who's got about 1 1/4 laps to go here from the Watkins Glen International Raceway, as he's exiting the boot for the 2nd to final time. Fitzwater has got a really fast car, but I just don't know if I don't think he's close enough to the 0-0 of Vargas. That 0-0 is gone right now. Yeah, Thomas Troxel sitting in the 4th position. I think he's definitely content where he is, and that's going to be a lot of points gained to the 54 Bradley Bradshaw. A white flag in the air. 1 lap to go for the 00 of Christian Vargas. And that 00 for Dog Pound Incorporated. Mentioned earlier, it's been an up and down season for this 00 of Vargas. Some big shoes to fill. Driving the car that the reigning champion drove. And has showed speed on multiple occasions. But a lot of his runs were kind of just mired by bad luck. And just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But Vargas looking to turn his season around late into going and get some good momentum going into the 2025 season. And this would definitely lift their spirits up a lot. And just a great run here today from Dog Pound Incorporated as a whole. They can just hold on for a few more corners. They've got a 1-2 secured for that organization. And this would be a huge, huge win for them. But going through the heel for the final time and heading into the final stages of the boot, Christian Vargas looking at his first win of the season. His first win for Dog Pound Incorporated. Looking to get Dog Pound Incorporated's second win on the season through turn 10 and turn 11. Christian Vargas is going to return the 00 to Haas IndyCar Series victory lane. Christian Vargas wins race number 1 of the Body Armor Duels at the Glen. Zachary Fitzwater's going to come home second to make it a 1-2 for Dog Pound Incorporated. Chris Reynolds is going to come home with a podium finish, so still a great run for that 73 crew. And Thomas Troxel gonna go home in the 4th position. So this is definitely a good day for that Durrani Racing camp. In fact, first, second are teammates, third, fourth are teammates. How about that? 2 sets of teammates up here in the top 4. And we'll see where Bradley Bradshaw finished. Managed to get by Alder Baranowskis there at the end, but it's going to be a 26th place finish for Bradley Bradshaw. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how the points shake up after this. Logan Williams managed to climb his way up to 19th. So Williams is also going to gain a few points on Bradley Bradshaw, but is probably going to lose second in the standings to Thomas Troxel. But actually, in fact, I'll have to wait and see how things go. But yeah, this will definitely be an interesting set of point standings after this one. No doubt about that. Definitely going to be a lot of shakeups. But how about that for Christian Vargas getting his first win on the season, and like I mentioned, returning that elusive Dog Pound Incorporated 00 to victory lane here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Some big shoes to fill, and I think those shoes fit perfectly. Great stuff there from the 00 of Christian Vargas. Finally getting it done here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. And what an exciting race that was. That was a great race, especially coming after the very chaotic race at Canadian Tire. Nice to see another race like this here in the IndyCar Series. But taking a look at your final standings here from Watkins Glen, Christian Vargas comes home with the win. Zachary Fitzwater joins him on the podium for a Dog Pound Incorporated 1-2, and Chris Reynolds, is going to round out your podium finishes. Taking a look further on down the field, Thomas Troxel comes home 4th. Jay Knapp rounds out your top 5. Dylan Matthews, he's going to come home with a 6th place finish. Trey Smith 7th. John Stewart 8th. John Andrews 9th. And Richard Kingart is going to round out your top 10. So that was a good strategy call there for Kingart. Good stuff there from that 95. But next race will just be in about 2 days' time. It'll be the second race here from Watkins Glen, Body Armor Duel Race number 2. And that also ought to be a fun one at that. Really looking forward to that race as well. If this race was any indicator, going to be exciting to see how the second race goes and how the rest of the season goes in general. There's going to be a lot of shakeups in the points here after this one. I have to wait and see how it all goes down. But yeah, like I mentioned, next race will be race number 2 of the Body Armor duels here at Watkins Glen. That'll be going up on Thursday, just 2 days, and just 2 days. And it'll be at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you all there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But once again, big congratulations to Christian Vargas for getting the win here at Watkins Glen. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And I will see you all back here at Watkins Glen on Thursday. Y'all take care and have a good one. Here are your point standings after race number 17 on the season.